Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, building experiences that connect, remove friction, and deliver insights. Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Ed Kless, and with me again for the second time today is Olivia Brown. Olivia is the Director of Business Development for North America at Tangerine Software. Since 2013, she has been working in roles spanning account management, sales, and business development. Olivia is responsible for growing market share for the Sage Enterprise Intelligence Solution in North America, and she works closely with Sage partners to help establish and grow their business intelligence practices. Welcome back to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, Olivia Brown.
Thank you so much, Ed, and thank you for having me on again. Really excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, this time we're going to talk about budgeting and forecasting. And why do you think that remains such a manual endeavor for most companies?
Honestly, Ed, I think there's a few reasons why, and it is a very important point to say that it does remain a very scary kind of concept. I think that organizations are kind of hesitant to move towards more automated, efficient processes when it comes to budgeting and forecasting. I think one of the main reasons is that they believe that it's a very costly and expensive thing to invest in a software that's very specifically catered towards, budgets and forecasts. And people are doing things that they might think are very simple, although it's taking them a lot of time. They think that moving towards those more complex solutions is going to be, a costly endeavor, a very uncomfortable endeavor, because they're so just stuck in what they're doing today. But what organizations don't realize is that you actually don't need to go above and beyond. Some do. Some larger organizations who are more complex might need to go to the nth degree when it comes to a budgeting and forecasting solution. But there are tools out there that are not costly and that are very kind of user-friendly in the sense that the solution provides those organizations with the tools and pre-built stuff that they need to be able to just improve those processes that are very manual today. So again, it's very scary for people. But if organizations are going to invest in something, budgets and forecasts are so critical in today's market, being able to determine, what does my next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years look like? What are my goals and what do I need to do to accomplish those goals? It's really a critical thing, especially, seeing what we've been through over the last few years. It's better to be as prepared as we can be.
And have you seen where it's helped specific companies? Any example come to mind when you think about budgeting and forecasting?
Yes, absolutely. We work with customers all the time who are doing very manual things, mostly in Excel, which is where we find a lot of people very comfortable. But the way that they're creating their budgets and forecasts, it's a very timely process for them. And very, like I said, it's very manual. So working with organizations and just kind of showing them how they can automate things, it gives them ideas as well as to how they can improve even what they're doing today. How are they doing their budgets based on, how can they forecast, even on the sales side, certain things that they need to be, aware of for the future. So we definitely see it. Obviously, we're in the BI world. We do have a bit of budgeting and forecasting that comes into play. But I definitely find customers are more ready than ever now to take the next step when it comes to a more automated and efficient budgeting and forecasting process.
And about how long does it take to get somebody up and running on something like this?
It all depends on the complexity, right? So there are some solutions that are a little bit more complex that take, more time. But again, those might be needed in some specific cases and are very, valuable once they're implemented. But the basic budgeting and forecasting, that we provide, it's very quick and easy to do. It almost replicates like an Excel type environment, but just makes things a little bit more automated. So it's nothing that people should be afraid of, or organizations should be afraid of. And we're starting to see a lot more people kind of embrace, I guess, the next baby step when it comes to these types of things.
Do you find that ultimately it helps people make better decisions in the long run?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And everything ties together, right? So we're BI, obviously it's data analysis and reporting. So giving organizations the insight they need to make decisions. But part of getting all of that data is being able to actually use that data, right? And actually give value to that data. How is that value going to give you data? How is that data going to give you value? Of course, it's for insight to help you make decisions, but it's also to enable you to look into the future, using the facts of today. So yeah, it's extremely, extremely important.
And Olivia, as you know, we have an exit question that we ask all our guests, even if they've been on multiple times. And that is, who is a hero of yours and why are they a hero?
So it's really funny, and it's kind of a similar answer. It's hard to change the answer to that question, right? And I believe the last time I was on, I said it's my parents, and for both for different reasons. But I have to single out my mom here because she is literally like a real life hero for everyone that knows her, and especially to me and my sisters. She saves me on so many different levels. I mean, just to give you an example, I got home from a trip last night and she had dinner for me. I'm like, what am I going to tonight? Well, there's my mom, ready to support me, coming back from a work trip, what have you. And not only that, but I mean, throughout our lives, she's really supported my dad in growing his business and helping him build his business. So, she's super mom. She's supportive of everybody. And she's an inspiration and definitely the person I would call my biggest hero for sure.
And lastly, Olivia, how can somebody contact you?
Yeah, well, obviously by my email. You can also visit Nectari, www.nectari.com, which is our website. But via email is the best way. So obrown@nectari.com. And I'll be glad to speak with anyone who's interested in learning more about BI, budgeting and forecasting, so on and so forth. So, yeah.
All right. Olivia Brown, Director of Business Development for North America at Tangerine Software. Thanks so much for being a guest on the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.
Thanks so much, Ed.
Review and subscribe by searching your podcast player of choice for Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.